got this fellowship from the Jehovah's Witness, I stopped looking for the Lord. I stopped my faith. I didn't feel like I needed to. And that's when I went in the world. Felt like I didn't need him anymore because I had everything I wanted. I wanted a wife, kid, a family, and I got it all. Until I lost it all. Things started happening to me. I was asked to go over to my neighbor's house to go check on their son, in which he was house sitting for his family. I found him. He had passed. That broke me really bad because he was so young. So I had a rough 2018. 2019, my mother had passed. And my youngest brother had mentioned to me that when you bring Dad, tell her that she died of a stroke. It hurt me because I lied to my dad just so he don't go crazy, or it hurts him, but it hurt me. And then one day he ended up in the hospital because he took a shower, he went out for a walk, he got sick, like a little chest cold. It was okay. He came out of the hospital, went home, and the nurse told me, here's a bag of medication, make him feel comfortable for 5 weeks. The thing that hurt me the most is when I asked her, I says, oh, what happens after 5 weeks? I says, he's gonna die. And I was like, whoa. It was the toughest 3 weeks. The last day that I couldn't take it no more, I called up the nurse and I says, I can't take this no more. It was the third week, and the nurse says, okay, I'm gonna send a bus to your house. They brought him to a nursing home. I got the call at 1 o'clock in the morning that he passed away. I felt like I gave up on him. So after that had happened, I ended up taking over my parents' house. After that, it was 2020. That's when we had moved in, and I started thinking that I'm gonna make a house a home. We were happily married. Things turned sour around 2021. I'll say it now, and you could edit it, but she had an affair. I didn't put up a fight. I just let it go. The separation it took a lot out of me, and I wanted to end it. And I was on Boston Road, and that's where I wanted to end it. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I realized that I didn't want to live no more. About half an hour later, I realized that the Lord had stopped traffic. There was nobody out, so I couldn't do what I wanted to do. So I walked home, went to bed, and I realized I lost everything. It was a rough road for me. I understand that sometimes when you let yourself go, myself, when I looked in the mirror, I weighed 389 pounds in 2021. And after my separation, I realized I didn't take care of myself. If I can't take care of myself, I can't even take care of my family. I had to change. We separated in August 2021. In October of 2021, one of my brothers actually came up to me and says, "We're selling this house." I couldn't fight no more. I begged the Lord to help me. I didn't put up a fight on selling on holding on to the house, knowing that that's the only place I had to go. I ended up moving, which it cost my daughters a home that they had, because Isabel and Rachel lived with me at the time. They were forced to move out too. It hurt pretty bad because I had to tell them, "You have to leave. You have to find a place for yourself. You're grown. And if you don't leave, my brothers will call the sheriff on you." Which, that hurt a lot. I started going to church. And church, to me, felt like a gateway to my answers. And as I was going to church, I asked God, "I'm coming to church now. Can you give me everything back?" My kids, my wife, and the life I had. But it didn't happen. In my neighborhood, I met Pastor Jack. I noticed this cross on his chest. And I said, "You go to church?" And he goes, "Yeah, I go to church." And that's when he told me about New Day. And one day he invited me, and I decided to come because when I moved to Enfield, I realized that I needed to go to church. I needed to find the Lord some way, somehow. I drove into the parking lot, and I saw the sign that said New Day. I walked into the lobby, and it looked like a Starbucks. So I turned around and walked back out in the parking lot and says, "This is not the right place. This doesn't look like a church." And one of the parking attendants says, "Hey, can I help you?" And I says, "Yeah, I'm looking for a New Day church." And he goes, "You're here." And as I looked in, I said, "That looks like a coffee place." And he was like, "No, you're here at the church." So he left his position, and he walked me in, and he showed me around and everything. And I was like, "Oh, okay." I kind of wanted a coffee, and I was like, I didn't have no money at the time. I didn't know it was free. And as I walk in, I look around. I see a lot of friendly faces. I sat down. I think I was like 15 minutes early. I sat down. Then all of a sudden I see the countdown. And that day was a day that made me feel good. I continue coming every Sunday. And I felt like I was at home. I always had God in my heart, but for some reason, I lost him. And now I found him back into my heart and mind. I've been coming to New Day, like I said, a year and a half. And I felt like I still needed more. And that's when Pastor Jack came up to me and says, "I think you should come to CR." And I was like, "What is CR?" He goes, "Celebrate Recovery." And I was like, "I'll give it a try." So I came that Thursday a little early, about 6:20. And when I sat at the table, I was a little nervous. But I knew that I was in a place where I needed to be. I was home. I've been going to CRs since I started New Day a month after. And I decided in December 15th, I decided to get baptized. And I did. And I felt God is in my life. I need to give him everything. I think God has made a way for me to see my kids. So yeah, he's rewinding the tape and saying, I'll give you times to spend with your kids. And I say that's the most important thing in my life right now, to make sure that I make it to church, make it to these small groups, 12 steps, CR, and church every Sunday. I forgive my wife. I hope she forgives me. New Days help me to cope with my anxieties, help me to cope with my depression, with the fellowship, with being busy, attending meetings, the love that New Day has offered, the friendship that even spending time with some of the brothers and sisters here has motivated me into a positive way of life. I don't care to drink. I don't care to smoke. I don't do any of that. It's motivated me to dedicate myself to doing good in life. My kids all say it. They see a change. And one thing that my youngest son said to me, John, he's 9 right now. We went for a walk and we saw a family of blue jays on the ground. And I said, hey, John, look at those blue jays. And he was like, hey, Dad, you got to make a wish. And as we're doing the walk, I made the wish. And he goes, Dad, what did you wish for? I says, I wish for my family back. I wish we could rewind the tape and I could have all you guys back again. And he looked at me and I said to him, John, what did you wish for? He goes, a new dad. It hit me hard. Because the first thing that came to my mind was, he wanted a new dad. He don't want me no more. He wanted a new dad. I prayed on it and I was like, why did he say that? As the days went by and somebody mentioned to me, one of the brothers here mentioned to me, he doesn't want another person as a new dad. He wanted you to become a better person. Looking back at how I was, broken, hurt, lost, I feel like a new person. The Lord has given me clarity on how things happen in this world. You lose a marriage, your kids grow up and start their own lives. I've learned to let go. He's given me the clarity on how to take care of myself, feel good about myself, to lose weight, to smile, to talk about Him, to preach about Him, to people that want to know my changes in my life. God is good. God is really good. I love Him a lot. And I wish that He could give me the strength to pray enough, be able to touch the hearts of my kids, Isabel, John, Joseph, Rachel, and Dave, and as well as my wife. God will take care of us. And if you give it all to Him, He will take care of us.